Who here would eat raw shit? Like chicken and shit combined together. Who would eat that? For real, is there anyone who would eat it for any amount of money? I saw Hannah was go up. How much money would you eat that for? Like an entire meal, like 1,000 calories worth. 100K. For 100K, you put shit and raw chicken in your mouth. You make me sick, bro. What's his relationship with money? He sounds pretty fucking shitty, huh? It sounds shitty. It's a bad relationship with money. You cannot pay me to do that. Just thinking about it is making me nauseous, right? Now, who here might like cheesecake? What if you could take the submodalities of raw chicken covered in shit and copy and paste that to cheesecake? How do you think you're gonna feel? What if you could do it to cigarettes? What if you could do it to anything that's not good for you? Has anyone here ever asked yourself, how quickly could you get over an ex? What's the fastest you've ever gotten over someone? Someone throw out a number, an idea. Write it down in the comments here on Zoom. What's the fastest you've ever gotten over someone? Someone's gagging over here, huh? A couple days? 10 years? 10 minutes? How long do you think it should take? There's a moment you get over them. And I'll tell you what happens in that exact moment. There are many things that happen, but here's one of them. Remember I talk about how our focus has a timeline. Your timeline is actually something that's three-dimensional. It's not just in your fucking head. It's not just an expectation of the future, but everyone has a future and it's in a certain direction. Close your eyes. I don't want you to see anyone else and get influenced. Everyone close your eyes for real. Close your eyes for a moment. And I'd like you to ask yourself, where is the past? Is it below me, above me, left, right, back, forward? Where is my past? And I'd like you to just use your finger to point to it. Okay, point to where you find your past. Great. Now open your eyes. Don't move. Look around. Notice where some people point. Some people point to the bottom, behind them, to their left, to their right. Notice some people point in different directions. These are your submodalities for your past. Now, what you'll find is people who are very, very successful with a great mindset, who probably have been through a lot. Where do you think their past is? Can you still see shit on your peripherals? You can. So where is their past usually? Above them. Now, if you're still feeling pretty shitty about the past, how close to your past? Are you right to your left, or would it be right below you? Probably right below you. Why is this important? It's important because this will literally show you when you change this one thing, if you could become aware of it. This requires a whole nother level of self-awareness. If you become aware of this with yourself, you can control every feeling you have in your body. You can control every feeling you have towards anything around you. I'm going to give you guys a really raw example of this. Someone throw me a water bottle. Come up for a sec. I know you brought your daughter, but I'd like to show you something really interesting. He's just such a great subject, I think he'd be a really good demonstration for this. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I'm just going to... Oh, fuck. My bad. Change your submodalities, please. No. All right. So, come here. What's your favorite celebrity, female celebrity? Not to get you in trouble.
Lauren London.
I don't know who that is. Is she pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah? Stunning? Mm-hmm. Great. Now when you think about her, in your mind, where is she? Is she close to you, far from you?
Mm-hmm. Far.
Far? Like how far? Like really far, a little bit far? All right. Far. Now, okay. Is she bright? Is she dim, like the picture in your head?
She's bright.
Right. Is it moving? Is it still?
Still.
Mm. Now, is she in color, black and white?
Color.
Is it vibrant?
It is.
Nice. Look, I only need 4. I could keep going down the line, and I'll tell you what submodalities are. Imagine sound. Submodalities for sound are pitch, tone, tempo, right? How loud it is. For touching something, it's warm, cold. Is it rough? Is it smooth? Heavy, light, anything physical, right? Eyesight. A lot of these. Anything you could think of. Anything that breaks down that sense, right? And the main submodalities you want to fuck with. Visual. Everything you do, I do not care what sense you have, even if you're blind, starts in the visual cortex. Unless you don't have a visual cortex, which is extremely rare. Even blind people usually have it. Starts there. Like if you think about the orange and how it tastes, you're seeing the orange. And you might say, I'm not seeing it in my head. Trust me, you're seeing it. How do you know what your car looks like? How do you know where your house is? You wouldn't know if you couldn't see it, promise you. So these are the submodalities that he said for someone. Are you in love with her? Okay, if you were in love with her, what would be different here?
The distance, I would say.
I'm going to undo it, I promise you. I promise you, I'll undo it. How? The distance would be closer?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just change this real quick to close. All right, so if this was close, he'd be in love with her. This one shift, if she was far away and she was suddenly close, this one shift, in love, okay? Important to note, that just that one little change. Now, if that image in his head, if it went from far away to right here, he'd be in love. Now watch this. Do me a favor, you're standing, sleep all the way down, all the way deep. Now in a moment, you're gonna find that there's a thing in front of me in my hand, going deeper than you've ever gone before. It feels really close, it's bright, it's still, it's in color. And all the feelings associated to that are right there. You're gonna hold it, and you cannot contain it, you cannot hide it. You're gonna be very expressive about how you feel. You're literally gonna feel that love to the thing right in front of you. Eyes open wide awake. How do you feel about that?
I love this bottle.
Yeah? Like how strongly?
You know, I feel like I've known it for quite some time now.
Can I see that real quick?
Oh, what? Damn.
How do you feel about that?
That was pretty fucked up. Why'd you do
Wide
that?
awake. He was literally getting hurt. You heard his voice cracking. His voice was literally cracking. He was literally getting hurt, right? Okay, now when I bring that up, all right, and you see this happening, I just made him fall in love with a water bottle for a second. He was in love with a fucking water bottle. You don't see it. That's how powerful this is. I know she's probably crying because you're not there, right?
Possibly.
Probably. I'll give you a round of applause. I'll let you have a seat with her. Yeah. All right. Now, whose bottle was that, by the way? Yours? You want to grab it? Sorry, I didn't mean to throw your bottle. Yeah, I didn't mean to treat it with disrespect like that. But now, you might be sitting here and you're thinking to yourself, okay, yeah, I get it, but is that really what's happening? Is that really what's happening? Did he really just fall in love with the water bottle? Well, let me give you a little bit. Let's take this up a notch. Let's up the ante. Okay, who remembers everyone here up on stage? I said when I say the word go, they're going to be down to invest in anything, including a piece of paper. When I said the word go, their state changed. Their state changed because something changed in their mind. What changed in their mind was this image of investing with me, the idea of investing with me. Do you think, who here, you were part of that? Who else was part of that? Raise your hand if you were part of that. Okay, if you were part of that, and I said, hey, invest with me, did you see yourself, and be honest, raise your hand if that's you, and Jack, switch cameras so they could see in Zoom as well. If that was you, did you see yourself making more with me or less? More? Raise your hand if you saw yourself making more with me. When you were like, I'm gonna invest in this piece of paper, who saw themselves making more? You guys saw yourself making more. A lot more, a little bit. Do you remember the image you had when you said, I'm in?
It was just, I just felt comfortable to say yes.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'm in.
Okay, but you felt compelled to say yes because there was an unconscious image in your head, or an unconscious image in your head that said, all right, I'm gonna do it. These are submodalities. So how do you identify them? Well, everyone think about money for a moment. Who here, if right now you made $10, it would make you feel like a little bit jittery or butterflies? No BS, honest. Who here would feel pretty good about $10? Some of you are liars. I see your fucking face. How about $100? Okay, $100 would make you guys feel pretty good. How about $1,000? Who would feel pretty excited about $1,000? How about 100,000? The whole room? How about $1 million? Okay. How would you feel about 100 million? Some people wouldn't even raise their hand that high because they're like, yeah, whatever. It got too far for you, right? And like who felt more excited about the million or the 100,000 they did about the 100 million? Weird, right? Is there logic there? Because if this was logical, it'd be linear, wouldn't it? The excitement would be linear as the number goes up. It's your lucky day. Have you ever wanted to walk into a room and have people break their neck to literally look at you and influence anyone, anywhere, anytime? Well, normally to learn this skill would be impossible. You'd have to go to school for 4 years, get a psych degree, waste your time. Then you'd have to go for another 4 years, get a PhD, waste your time. Then you'd have to gain experience, and eventually, at the age of 70 or 80, have some skill to where you could influence the room. Well, then I came along and I came out with a program that cost around $997. Then I discounted it to $297. And I just discounted it again to $49. So click the link in description, get invisible influence, and I'll show you how to change other people's mindsets, your life, and everything around you. But it stops becoming linear because the submodalities, the relationship you have with money, the emotions you have towards money, change as it gets further away. So here's what we're going to do. I would like you guys to ask your partner a question. When they think about money, let's just start with an easy amount. $1,000 or $10,000. You guys get to pick. Have your partner pick. Hey, which one do you want to start with? 1,000 or 10,000? Because if someone's more successful, you'll ask for 10,000. If someone's less successful, you might go to 1,000. You'll say, hey, when you think of that, where do you see it? Is it close? Is it far? Is it near? Is it dim? Is it bright? Is it in color? Is it moving? Is it still? Right? You can even do that. I'll just say moving, still. I'll put moving so you guys know it's obviously the opposite. Is it clear? Is it blurry? Right? How often do you hear people even use these words? Wow, your future is bright. Or they'll say something like, I don't know, I'm just not clear. You're not closing the sale because they're not clear on what they're getting. I just don't have clarity on the situation. I need more time. What are they telling you? Confused. Something is too close. Think bigger. What does it mean about whatever it is they're thinking about? The person thinking about it thinks that this is big. So when I say think bigger, and they're not able to do so, all they're doing is look. It's like, imagine I'm looking at this, I'm like, think bigger. Most people do this. Whoa. Right? Think bigger means, okay, wait, that's not that big anymore. So when I think about how to make your goals feel much more obtainable, and you're like, oh my God, if I make $1,000 this month, oh my God, my life will change. Pull it away. Oh, okay. I guess that's not that big of a deal, is it? And then you keep doing that over and over again. Before you know it, now you feel pretty confident that you'll make a lot more. And if you feel confident you make a lot more, will your mind start giving you examples, evidence, producing ideas that you never had before? If you were to hop on a sales call, instead of charging your normal $500, as an example, you can now charge $5,000, $10,000, $50,000. Limiting beliefs come because there are emotions that block you from taking the action. The emotions that block you from taking the action come from an image in your mind. You see it not working out. You see it negatively. The simplest way is you see it with the wrong submodalities. Everything has a submodality. Let me see, who smells popcorn? Here, I'll do something really funny. How good is that popcorn? What kind of popcorn is it? You smell butter on it too?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you look at this pen, what do you see? Do you see your eyes getting heavier and heavier and sleep all the way down? All the way deep, completely relaxing your mind and your body. In a moment, this looks pretty bad. In a moment you find that there is a snake right there on your table. You do not want to move. I'm holding the teeth. I'm holding it with my right hand, and you can see the fangs. It's very venomous. It's very frightening. When you understand, accept that, nod your head. Eyes open. Are you okay?
Yes.
Don't move. Don't move. Careful. I'm going to put this around you. Just come here. Careful. Careful. If it bites you, you'll die. Careful. Psst. Psst. What is this? What is this? Zoom, what is this? What kind of snake is this?
A rattlesnake.
It's a rattlesnake, yeah. Submodalities have just changed. Conscious mind, eyesight, this is what you see. She sees this. She feels like it's a snake. The submodalities towards the snake have now shifted towards this belt, causing that emotion. That emotion is a pattern. It's a program. She's now running a program for this. When you see a cup, you see a pen, you see me, there are submodalities that pop up, and those submodalities trigger a program. I do not know any other hypnotist, NLP trainer, or individual in the world that will explain it to you this simply or clearly, because they don't understand it themselves. Can you pet it real quick? Face your fear. Pet this thing. Pet it. Psst. Wide awake. How do you feel about this? Look at the relax. Look how relaxed she got. Let me ask you a question. I could predict pretty quickly how someone's financial situation looks. Yours is probably not that good. Correct?
Are you a prophet?
Not a prophet. I could tell. I could tell pretty much with everyone in the room. I just don't say shit. But I'm pretty good at my job. So I just don't say a lot of what I know. So I would assume your relationship with money is pretty shit. Correct?
Yes.
If I were to give you $100, would it change your life? No. But it would make you feel better today, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, let me ask you this. I will give you two options. I'm either going to give you $100, I'm going to change your relationship with money to where you literally view money completely differently.
Right?
Which one do you want?
I want to change my relationship with
Sleep. In a moment, you're going to find that it's very, very easy for you to make unlimited amounts of money. You'll start with $10,000 in a month, you bring it up to 30, and then 100, and so on and so forth. Making money is fucking easy for you. You're not even fazed by it. As a matter of fact, you're excited because you finally know you got rid of all the problems and limiting beliefs around money. When you understand, accept that, nod your head. Awesome, eyes open, wide awake. Let me ask you a question now. You may not be rich at the moment, but do you think you will be?
Absolutely.
Do you have any doubt?
No.
Honest. Do you feel any fear about it?
No.
Are you sure? Look at the relief. You guys hear the relief? That sigh? Okay. That seems like nothing. And this is the thing. Like most of the time, you want something dramatic. If I wanted to be entertaining, I'd make this dramatic. I'm not trying to be entertaining. I'm just trying to get to the point, right? So we move on. But this shift is going to dramatically change your income. Your shift around your stocks, do you think it will change your income? Honest. Has your income shifted since the last time you were here? Whose income has shifted since they started working with me? Hi, put your hands up. If your income has shifted since you started working with me, not just today, I'm just talking about in general. You've been working with me for a little bit. A lot of the people working with me are already outside, so they're not here, but perfect. Who just started working with me? First time here. Great. Well, let's see what happens. At the last event, I had a guy on stage. Who was at the last event in January? You were there. Keyshawn, I think you were there. That's where we met, right? All right. So in January, I had a guy come up on stage and has NPD, narcissism. Not his fault, but I broke down his entire personality. I literally collapsed his identity so he can make a shift. And the most he's ever made in a month, ever, his roof, his ceiling, 20K. He came to me the next day. He made $100,000 from the time we did the intervention at 5 p.m. all the way to the next day. The intervention I did involved using this exact strategy, but I didn't teach it to them there. I was just implementing it. You could see the reason she saw my belt as a snake is simply because I copied and pasted the submodalities of a snake onto my belt. Could have done it with a jacket. She would have thought my jacket's a snake. It does not matter what item I chose. I just think a belt is more appropriate because it looks more like a snake. Not that we need it, it's just more theatrical. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to find a partner, $1,000 to $10,000. If they pick the 1,000, and you got to be honest, don't fucking bullshit. Don't be like, I'm going to shoot for 10,000, okay? Because of what I'm about to say. I want you guys to be honest because I want you to change your submodalities. If the more negative the feeling, pick that one. If the feeling is super negative, even with $1,000, pick it. You'll find that the only difference between 1,000 and 10,000, if 1,000 was already negative, is maybe 10,000 feels a little bit dimmer or a little bit further away, right? That's what you might see. So I want you to see what happens, where your submodalities shift, because everyone is different. Where do your submodalities shift when things get more negative? And where do they shift when things get more positive? That's the first thing. The second thing, once we've identified the submodalities we have around that much money, whether it's a stack of $100 bills or however you view that kind of money, right? To someone $1,000, they might perceive it in ones and they'll see the whole room with money. You know, like I don't know how some people see it. The whole idea here is to make it where you become aware of what your submodalities are for that negative feeling you might have around money. Now you might already have a positive feeling around money, but it may not be positive enough. You'll still get a lot of perspective because if you make a few shifts, just move a few things over, you will instantly change how you feel about it. Does that make sense? This is the most powerful thing I've taught you, period. It is ridiculous. It is dramatic. You saw how quickly I can make the change. I try not to show off my skill set too much, but sometimes I want to. So that was an example of me wanting to, because I think you can use this. Again, you might sit there and be like, when am I going to use this? You're going to use this when you walk into a room with someone you want to influence or help. If someone you know smokes, change their submodalities, they don't smoke anymore. This is why I have the world record at making people quit, because I literally change their submodalities on the spot, make an anchor, future pace it, have them see the future in a negative light, make it to where those submodalities are so fucking permanent, embedded in their mind, they're not going to go back. That's why I'm able to help someone quit stuttering, become more confident. I'm using this without you even realizing it. Sometimes I'm gesturing in ways to change the way you feel, and you won't even know it. If I said the word sleep, and then I went like this, what do you think would happen? Fuck. Wide awake. That wasn't even the plan, but right? That's what would happen. But if I was doing it, and I had already understood everyone's submodalities, I knew what everyone needed, I was using language, even telling a story that triggered most of you into that state, and then did this, fuck. They're both in. Wide awake, wide awake, wide awake, right? They go in. And that's just because I was conditioning that side of the room. I could also do it to this side of the room, everything else. Stop, wide awake. What did I just create an anchor for on accident? Right? Yeah, interesting, right? It's gone. It's gone, that anchor. Cool? So is your name. What is it? It's back. There you go. All right. Any questions? Now that I have your attention, you want to change your life, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm the best hypnotist in the world. My name is Marcel Klein, and what I want to do is I want to show you how to reprogram your mind in the shortest amount of time. What I'm going to invite you to do is get on a call with me or someone from my team. All you have to do is click the link around this video, and I will see you on the other side.